all corners of the globe to your ears, it's the Midnight Movie Cowboys. Sometimes informative, sometimes controversial, but always unpredictable. It's the Midnight Movie Cowboys podcast with your hosts, Hunter, John, and Stu. And now, on with the show.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Midnight Movie Cowboys for this week. Been a while, been a few weeks since the last one, which was Monsters Week 4. Took a bit of a break, things happen, etc. Life. As it is.
Finally, we don't talk about the monsters anymore.
Yeah, or that guy and his wife. So, anyway, you've got myself, Stuart, here in Melbourne on the verge of a very, very contentious election in a month, and it's getting very ugly here. A certain premier is on the nose. So, down in Dallas, Texas, over that way, is Mr. Hunter Doozing. What's up, brother?
Hey, man.
And over that way is Mr. Garo Nigoghossian over in DeSantis land.
Yes.
Yeah.
The home of the free.
You know what? You got any property around there going for sale? Because we may be heading that way soon, I think.
Yeah, everything's good. Everything is like way up.
Don't
like
care.
The property values are super high here.
Don't
now.
care.
And it used to be super cheap like a couple of years ago. But
yeah,
they keep building new houses and new communities and stuff just constantly. So there's always houses to buy.
Right on. Well, yeah. You may see us there in about January next year if it all goes to shit here. Anyway, no, John. John literally weaseled out of this episode.
I didn't think there was any way he would
do
this. No.
He made it pretty clear. I don't want to watch it. Then when we kept asking, he was reading messages. You know, you guys, we see Messenger. He said a little icon. They've read it. He was laying low.
We can get him to watch the latest Rob Zombie movie, but the latest Kevin Smith movie is a bridge too far. That's a big.
We did get him to watch Mallrats, but he'd already seen that. So
Mallrats, I think, even if you don't like Kevin, is perfectly watchable. You know.
Yeah. And and I think he's okay with like early Kevin Smith. He just doesn't like Kevin Smith now, or in the last like 10 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Vegan
I think maybe
Smith.
even the last like 20 years, maybe. I don't know.
I think I know he enjoyed Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, so I think that's kind of the where he like gets off.
Did you see that one with him, Garo, back in the day?
No, we didn't see that together.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We saw Mallrats together, but not Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
All right. Yeah. Maybe Cop Out was the one that just said he tapped out. He said that was it for him.
Well,
yeah, I think Cop Out he did not like Cop Out. No one liked Cop Out, so.
So what movie are we talking about, Stu?
We are talking about the new Kevin Smith film Clerks III, which honestly I would never have thought would have had a 3 at the end of the title, because 2 was not good.
I rewatched 2 in preparation for this, and I'm gonna tell you, I like 2. I do. I think it's actually got like some big laughs in it. It's not perfect. In fact, you can start seeing the problems for 3 like a little bit in part 2. But there are laughs in part 2. Like I had a huge laugh 2 minutes into Clerks 2, like a huge laugh, and I got more of them throughout the movie. And because I think Clerks 2 remembered it was a comedy, you know. So I'm not saying Clerks 2 is like a fucking classic. I'm not. It's not as good as the first one, but I think it's a decent Kevin Smith movie.
Yeah, I'm with you. You.
All right.
Do we want to do our thing first, Stu, before we get into it?
Yeah, we'll whip out our junk. I'll ask my question later. I was going to do it now, but we'll do it later. So, who would like to go first? Hunter.
I'll go ahead and go. So I got a couple of double features here. One is the Arrow release of Johnny Toe's Running Out of Time 1 and 2.
I've seen those, but they didn't really leave an impression on me.
Toe is kind of like that. I just, I tend to just grab whatever of his that comes out, and if it works, great. If not,
Better than Drug War, I'll tell you that much. Better than Drug War. Yeah, not Drug War. No, Drug War is good. What was
I was
the
gonna
one
say
we
Drug
reviewed?
War.
Three. It's better than three. That was
a
the one
piece
we
of
reviewed.
crap.
Yeah.
3 was
Drug War
awful.
was actually good. Drug War.
Yeah, I was
going
gonna say Drug War has a good reputation. That's in my to watch pile.
Yeah, Drug War is really good.
But the covers look similar. So, but yeah,
Like
3.
Bruce
I was
Willis movies.
astonished at how bad that film was. But I recently watched Throwdown, and I really enjoyed that.
I actually never saw that one.
Oh, it's good. And another double feature, Dr. Phibes. Abominable Dr. Phibes. Dr. Phibes Rises Again. I was like, do I want to get these again on Blu-ray? Yes, I do. So.
Oh, you've got them already.
I had like the MGM Midnight DVD.
Oh, okay. You didn't have the Big Arrow box set that came out in England?
Yeah, we didn't get that here.
Oh, I got that. Oh, I got straight away. I had to.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
And the last thing, the Criterion 4K of Lost Highway, David Lynch.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a huge fan of that one.
Yeah.
It's David Lynch, so you gotta
No.
have it. It's one that I like things about, but it's not my favorite. But I like when I found out that it was basically about O.J. Simpson, I thought that made the movie make sense.
Like I get the Criterion for Mulholland Drive because I fucking love Mulholland Drive.
That's probably great.
That's probably my favorite Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
All right, Garo.
Okay, I got Nobody on 4K because I got it for like $10 on Amazon because I actually enjoyed this more than Hunter and John did.
And me.
I'm gonna give it another shot. When I watched it, I started it and I did not vibe with it at all, at all. But I'm gonna try it again because everybody said such great things about it. I'm gonna try it again. Just So
I enjoyed it, and I thought this was a better movie than the first John Wick movie. So I feel it has a better jumping off point for sequels. So, and I heard they're working on a sequel. So hopefully it's like John Wick 2, which was better than John Wick 1. I got this for $1.25. It's called Arizona, starring Danny McBride, co-writer of Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
And I've seen this, and it's okay. I was like, $1.25.
I like Danny McBride. I'll watch anything with him.
Yeah. I got this for $4 at Big Lots. Beat Takeshi's Outrage, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed when I watched it. I still got to watch Beyond Outrage and Outrage Coda. But this for $4. I love Kitano.
I don't think John's a Kitano fan. I think John hates him.
John likes he's just sick of his Yakuza films and didn't like Zatoichi at all. But if you ask him about because I think he liked Hanabi. I know he really liked Kikujuru. So yeah, he's like hot or cold on Kitachi Kitano. And then I got this for $2 at Big Lots. Fury, Vietnamese action film, but I haven't watched it. I got this for $4. Donnie Yen, Kung Fu Killer, and I haven't watched it yet. Got this for $1.25. Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich.
Oh, I've seen that. That's fun.
That's fun. Yeah, I still haven't watched it yet.
Dude, it's I couldn't believe how edgy it was. They shot it in my neck of the woods in Dallas, and S. Craig Zoller wrote it, and it's Garo, you're gonna have a ball with it. I know you're gonna. There's stuff in there that will appeal to you specifically.
Cool.
Hey, I'll tell you how we can guarantee or know if Garo likes it. If we get a message, hey, we should cover Puppet Master. The Third Reich.
Yeah, we couldn't do that one. It would get out of control real quick,
think so.
and you'll see why.
I picked this up for $3. Korean film, The Villainous, but haven't watched it yet. Picked this up at Dollar General for $4. Really, really, really like this movie. The Blu-ray of Running Scared, starring Paul Walker.
Oh, that's a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah. This one I really like. This one is a really good movie. Got this for $2 at Big Lots. The Fighter with
Great
Maki
movie.
Mak
Yeah.
and Christian
good.
Bale. Love this. Yeah, like this one a lot. It's a good Massachusetts movie too.
Have you ever seen the real guy in the documentary called what's that drug area of Boston or Massachusetts?
What Lowell?
Lowell.
Lowell. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Lowell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor boy.
Got this for 75 cents at Big Lots. The Warlords with Jet Li, Andy Lau, but I haven't watched it.
Oh, I was gonna. That looked like one of those kind of
arty type of movies.
Art, like kind of like what's his name? The guy who directed Hero.
Yeah, yeah.
Sort of a light version of those.
Yeah. And then I got this for $2, Warriors of the Nation at Big Lots. It's Vincent Zhao playing Wong Fei Hung again, and I watched it, and it's awful. It's not good. It's a bore. The fight scenes aren't that great.
Bad.
Yeah, I got this Once Upon a Time in China Criterion box set.
Featuring you.
Featuring me. I have an extra on there. I'm actually on I have special features for Once Upon a Time in China in America. I shot a special feature and am on it. So very proud of this. Cool.
And soon to be removed when they find out.
Yeah.
Be a collector's piece shortly.
Got this. It's a Blu-ray of the Hong Kong movie Magnificent Scoundrels, starring Stephen Chow. A really fun 90s comedy starring him. Okay, and then I got another Hong Kong movie Blu-ray. I got The Raid, produced by Choi Hark, kind of like an Indiana Jones type movie. It bombed in theaters, but it was a lot of fun. And then, what's that? You hear that?
Oh, Cyclone Alert.
That's the Kino alert. We're getting into Kino, pure Kino now. So we got Orgasmo, got it for $6.
The best.
Yep.
The
now
best.
you're a man.
Yep. And then finally the last pure Kino, Basketball.
Oh yeah,
Parker and Matt
I didn't like that one.
I love that movie.
Loved it. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, I'll get onto it quick. I don't have a great deal. I've got something that'll be absolutely irrelevant to you boys, but I picked it up for $1 at a thrift store while I was away with the family. Biff's, Bumps, and Brawlers 1 and 2. That's the Australian football. It's just back when it used to be a hard-ass game when people would actually knock each other out.
I thought that was like bum fights or something, like Australian
that's
bum fights.
Too. It's like this is a version of bum fights.
No, it's not that shit. No, it's only in America could they dream something that stupid up. Got this book sent from Anthony. My indecision is final, and that is the rise and fall of Goldcrest Films, which I'm not too sure who Goldcrest Films are, but
me neither. But
Nez did send to me. He did send me this though. Oh, what a champion! Look at this. Scarf, the Everton Football Club, the Mighty Toffees. Oh, not even out of its packaging yet. It's my favourite football team in England. Anyway, moving on to movies and stuff now. Picked this up for $1.50, $1.20, sorry, at JB Hi-Fi on Blu-ray. Picked up one for my son as well, Leaving Las Vegas.
Oh, there's an uplifting film.
Yeah.
Well, he wanted it anyway. And they had 2 copies, so I thought I'll get myself one.
Yeah.
All right. I picked this up for $1 at a thrift store. Man About the House, the feature film from 1973, I think it is. Which ended up being spun off in the US as Three's Company.
Oh yeah, that's
the original one, Man About the House. That's that. Oh, Hunter, you'll like this one. Maybe Garo as well. Had to get this off eBay because it's hard to find now. Weird Al, the Ultimate Video Collection.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
The movie comes out soon.
Which one?
The Weird
There's
Al biopic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Daniel
Harry Potter's
Radcliffe.
playing him.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It looks good. It looks good. It looks like it could be good.
Anyway, I didn't know. Also out by Shout Factory, which is in my cart, they've got the Complete Al. Did you guys know that one? The VHS from the mid-80s?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. So I want that on the shelf as well. The only problem with this one is all the songs are all over the place.
They're not in order.
No, not chronologically. It starts with Fat, then Amish Paradise, then Smells Like Nirvana. But you're really getting to halfway down before you get to the early ones like a Surgeon, Eat It, Dare to Be Stupid, and all that. So they had done it chronological from the start. The first ones, all the way down to the end. But they didn't. All right, here's a bunch. I've been on a kick of this band lately, and picked up this one's for John. I had it on vinyl, bought it on vinyl, finally got it on a CD because it's getting out of print because it's Japanese
and you can't
only.
play it in your car.
Yes, you can. Andrea True Connections, More album. Yeah. Fucking masterpiece. I love it. All right. Getting down to the nitty gritty. Band I've been on a kick on. Have known them for years, listened to them for years, but got back into them. Found this for $1. 2-disc, Amazing Journey, The Story of the Who. Never seen it, but always wanted to. So that was there for $1 at the thrift store. Then I found this for $5. This is a classic. I want us to cover it one day. The Kids Are Alright by The Who.
Oh, cool.
You ever seen it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, man. From 78. Fantastic. Carrying on with that. Found that for a few bucks. The Who's video clips collection. And I found that for $1 on CD. But it needs a case. I got to buy some this week. Who's next? Final one. This is for John, because I don't think you guys know who this is, but got this for $16 off Amazon, Australian dollars from UK. And Catch Us If You Can on Blu-ray. The Dave Clark 5 movie.
Oh, okay. Dave Clark.
Oh, man. Haven't seen it yet, and I think it'll be a MMC episode, maybe when you're away, Hunter, unless you want to do it.
Open to it.
It's mid-60s London, swinging London, with the Dave Clark 5. Can't wait to see it. And that is it for me. All done. All right, let's get into Clerks 3. Now, this stemmed from myself asking Garo in one of the episodes when we did the Munsters. I said, you saw Clerks 3 and the Munsters in the same day. Which one was better? And you said, we need to do an episode on Clerks 3. Which had my brain ticking that you were thinking Clerks 3 was worse.
Yeah, I think Clerks 3 is worse than the Munsters. In fact, Rob Zombie made a better Munsters movie than Kevin Smith made a Clerks movie.
Okay. I can see that in terms of the topic that you're dealing with and focusing on that, yeah. I will say this. Clerks 3, holy shit, one of the slowest starting movies I've seen in decades. I just sat there for the first 45 minutes going, this is awful. I can't believe it.
I'll say it's bad, but I think Jay and Silent Bob reboot was worse.
No, I think it was better.
No, I think it was better too.
Yeah.
I think that at least had moments in it. Whereas this one seemed to be shitting. Like it's trying to act like it's celebrating Clerks, but in a way, it's shitting on it. I didn't get that from Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Well, my thing with Jay and Bob is I was like, this movie wouldn't exist if Kevin wasn't trying to pad his daughter's resume.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just full of so much. Like the scene with Affleck was so insulting, where he's just crawling on his belly to, you know, like Joey Lauren Adams and stuff, in chasing Amy and kind of doing a like almost an apology or something. It was really weird. Like I didn't understand why he would even agree to come on and say that stuff, unless it was just to like patch things up with Kevin. But whereas this is really bad, and I really, you know, he's in this part of his career where he's really rehashing everything. I mean, he started doing that with Jay and Bob, but it was really just referencing himself. But this movie, doing a film about making Clerks, like Kevin, every time when he makes a movie, it's because something new happened to him, and it's like that's become a rare thing since he started making movies. Like, okay, he had a kid, so he made Jersey Girl to show how much he loves being a parent. He what was it? He, you know, had a heart attack, so he made this movie. You know, there's always just some experience he's trying to convey. But you know, I just wonder why there hasn't been a movie where Jay and Bob get thrown off a plane for being too fat.
It's coming.
The other thing is that this movie is just, it's Kevin Smith run out of ideas, because he already made this movie. It was called Zach and Miri Make a Porno.
I was going to say
which was
that,
terrible.
And then I got sidetracked. But yes, Zach and Miri Make a Porno was it's about making Clerks.
Yeah,
you know, it's about what it was like to make a movie, and that was the movie where I was kind of like, okay, I don't think I like Kevin Smith anymore, because I saw it in the theater and I was mad when I came out, and it felt to me like Kevin. This was where I kind of went, man, he sure is lazy, because it felt to me like he just sort of sat back and kind of expected the Seth Rogen and them to just kind of and I remember him seeming kind of confused about that. That's also the last time he worked with Scott Mosier as producer, although Scott's in this movie, but they haven't,
like 2 seconds.
Yeah, but they haven't done a film together since.
Well, he's a director now. He directed that that last Grinch animated CGI animated movie that came out, the one that had Benedict Cumberbatch as
That's right.
Grinch.
Yeah.
So he's doing better than Kevin Smith is now.
Oh yeah. His career, you know, Kevin like makes movies specifically for directed at his podcast audience, his built-in fan base. He is not trying to evangelize at all and make new fans, and it's kind of a dead-end street. I don't think it's a good long-term strategy to be making movies for people who've seen all your like Clerks 3. Like, it's just a big, hey, remember this part in Clerks? Hey, you remember that part in Clerks? You liked this part in Clerks, right? Hey, Clerks 2. You remember Clerks 2? You like that stuff, right? You know.
You know what's the best Clerks sequel? Which one do you think it is, 2 or 3?
2. It's definitely 2.
Yeah.
No, the animated series. The
animated series is awesome.
It is.
I love the
it's so forgotten, though. It's so forgotten.
There's also the short film that he did with Dante and Randall, The Flying Car.
That's right. Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yep. Oh, it's funny. It's actually funny. Yeah. It's funnier. It's funnier in 5 minutes than all of Clerks 3.
But the problem is with Clerks 3 that they look so freaking old. These guys. Okay, everyone ages. I understand. You know, Stuart, you know, spring chicken. But the thing is, you've got a convenience store where basically nobody comes into at all. Yet you've got 3 guys on at the one time. If you're trying to turn a profit in a place like that, but it's really just selling knickknacks, you know, everyday, you know, perishable items. You got 3 guys. We'll put 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 at night shift, if there is a night shift. But you got 3 in there just fucking talking about Star Wars, rehashing the same things. And whoever gets an epiphany after a heart attack to say, I'm going to make a movie about in here. You know?
It's one of those things that, you know, in the 90s made sense. But today it's weird. The only like modern thing is Jay and Bob running a weed business next door.
Mm.
In which the only gag in the movie that I thought was memorable was Jay selling weed to that guy and acting super sketchy about it, and he's confused. he was like, that's the way we did it in the 90s. Come on, you know, like just trying to throw back to selling weed back then. That was kind of fun. That's the only gag where I go that I recall from the film where I was like, oh, I cracked a smile. I didn't like laugh out loud, but I went, you know.
The only things that made me laugh was when they were actually rehashing old scenes from Clerks, which made me think, why don't I just watch Clerks? It's going to be funnier anyway.
It's basically him living off the former glory of Clerks. That's all it is. And it's like, but then he shits all over it. I mean, here, big spoiler alert. He fucking kills Dante at the end of the movie.
I know.
Yeah, Dante dies.
Which is so unearned and so fucking stupid. It's just like, okay, Randall has a heart attack, and then fucking Dante has a heart attack, but Dante dies from it. And it's just like, and it's supposed, because you know what he's doing? You know how he likes to cry at movies? So he's making a movie so that he can cry at the end of it. And he's expecting like it came off so hollow to me. I was like, and believe me, I should be the one. I fucking love the original Clerks. Fucking love it.
Yep.
I should be the person who should be crying at Clerks. I'm like, nope. This isn't affecting me at all because it's fucking stupid. It is goddamn fucking stupid.
In the scene where Dante is like dying and he watches the movie.
Yeah.
Like you said, you start to see these scenes from Clerks, and I went, boy, I like Clerks.
Yeah.
I don't like this movie, but I like Clerks.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe I should go watch Clerks again.
Clerks was irreverent, and made out of desperation through no money. So they had to use... And he goes with this one, and there's that voiceover narration over the end credits where he goes, oh, you're seeing Clerks, so I always wanted to see it in color and stuff. I thought, fuck off. I mean, you made Clerks in black and white because you had no choice. It was cheaper. You had a second one. Why didn't you do the second one like that? You didn't. You did fucking Porky's 2 the next day with it. You made nothing but a fucking... anything but Clerks movie.
He was just saying, hey man, you know, that's how it was for me. It was in color, man. You know, it's just Kevin's weed.
You know what would have been a really good coda on the end of this film? Over the end credits would have been behind
Randall waking up and being like, "Oh, it was all a dream."
No, nothing like that. Behind the scene photos, some unused things you would have seen of Clerks. Excuse me. Just anything to remind you back to how good that film was. Yes, this film did it anyway. Because it made me want to go see it again, even though I've not done it yet because of time constraints. But just behind the scenes photos and just opening up that Clerks world that he has access to and the people who were there. But he didn't do that. And he dedicated the film to the girl who played Caitlin, Lisa Spoonhour, in little tiny writing at the end. Come on, man. Couldn't you put her name at the very end with a photo of her? Nothing. So, I don't know. He dropped the ball. It's such a common overused term, but boy, he dropped the ball in this one. It could have been so much better. And I'm going to say it again like I did with the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Those teeth on Jason Mewes just kill me. I can't take it. I've never seen a facial shape change so much from...
Yeah. Yep. No, it's almost depressing to see Jay and Bob because Jay. I mean, I'm glad Mewes is alive and sober. That's great. Of course. But you know, you just see so much wear on him that it's almost not. He's not funny anymore because it's so sad. And Silent Bob is like skinny vegan Kevin Smith now. You know, like I mean, he's lost a lot of the.
He looks very underweight. To the point where he does look sick at time, and if you've ever seen videos of vegans,
needs to feed him a steak. Someone needs to feed him a steak.
As long as that daughter's around, it's not happening. It's not. That's not happening. as long as he runs his life.
Shifting gears a little bit, what's up with Kevin has an obsession with King Diamond that I don't know if it's ever been talked about.
Well, it harkens back to part 2 where he used the song Welcome Home.
Yeah. But,
from the best King Diamond album.
Elias, who, boy, by the way, that guy.
He's such an eyesore in this film.
He was a terrible character in part 2, and he's an even worse character in part 3.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like him going from being a cringe Christian to a cringe Satanist, like having a cringe Satanism, that's a funny idea, but it just doesn't land. But he's dressed like King Diamond for most of the movie. I was going, what's up? Like, Kevin must really like King Diamond. I don't know. Like,
if Kevin
I know
Smith...
someone else who dressed up like King Diamond. Me.
But also, Kevin's obsession with cucking is back in this movie.
Oh, hardcore. His wife cucks him from the grave with mostly black guys. It's only one white guy, Carl Sagan. The rest are all black guys. He's talking about all the sex she's having in heaven, in
the afterlife.
Yeah, and he loves cucking. You know,
it's in every movie. Like, there's something about cucking in all of his films, and it's disturbing because it feels like a fixation. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? We all know that Kevin's wife has made him watch gay porn while they have sex. We talked about this on a previous episode.
Did we?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we talked about it on the Mallrats episode.
Is that true, or is it just Garo making shit up to be funny?
No, I'm not making it up. He talked about it. He actually talked about it on one of his fucking podcasts I listened to 10 years ago.
I remember back before Zach and Miri came out, I started listening to his podcast, and I eventually stopped just because I was sick of hearing about how gross and weird his sex life is. Just was like, I can't do this anymore.
Are we talking female lesbian, or are we talking about male gay?
No, we're talking dudes. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, hey, if that's your thing, up to you.
But my question to you guys is, do you think that Kevin's wife has fucked another guy in front of him?
Oh, in front of him, I don't know. Behind his back, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I can't imagine. This is coming from somewhere, Garo.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming from somewhere. So there's something like he's telling on himself at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, it comes up far too often in these movies for it to be coincidence.
Yeah, and it was, you could kind of see, like, I think it first started rearing its head, like his weird kind of view on sexuality was like Chasing Amy. Like, Chasing Amy was the whole scene between him and Ben Affleck and Joey Lauren Adams and Jason Lee, where he's like, oh, since you're gay, I'll have sex with Jason Lee. And we'll
have a threesome thing. Yeah.
I don't understand how that solves anything. I don't know where your brain has to go to where that's where you end up. And that was like his first cry for help. It
really was. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, that movie is totally Kevin working out I just remember the writing on my Letterboxd review that this is a really embarrassing way to publicly work out your sexual problems. Because this is clearly about some issue he had with Joey Lauren Adams while they were dating.
Oh, no. Supposedly, this is even before Joey Lauren Adams. He fell in love with one of the female directors of that lesbian movie, Go Fish.
Yes.
And that's where the movie came out from. I
didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that as well. It was
Rose Latroche or Rose Troche or something her name was. I can't remember.
I saw one film that she was in, and it was odd. It was all about femdom, and it was just was strange. But
Wow,
yeah.
I did not know this.
Yeah. So it
Oh,
was
she's friends with Guinevere Turner. Okay.
And that's it.
Yeah.
It might be
Guinevere
Guinevere
Turner. That's the one.
Guinevere Turner.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I knew that Kevin and Gwen Turner were friends. I didn't know that he fell in love with her.
Yeah.
But she's gay.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's a homo. Oh,
She wrote the script for American Psycho.
Really?
Yeah.
What's some of the films that Guinevere Turner's been in or made? It'll spark my memory, the one I saw.
She
It would have been...
she was in Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
And she was in Dogma. But yeah, she wrote American Psycho. She wrote Blood Rain for Uwe Boll.
Oh boy.
She wrote Notorious Betty Page, which was another Mary Harron film, the girl who did American Psycho.
Yeah.
Charlie said, I haven't heard of any of these other movies.
Yeah, it was one. It was a low budget one. Doesn't matter. I'll look it up later if I even remember about it. But one thing I'll say about Clerks 3, I think Clerks 1 we can all agree the soundtrack in that film pretty hot. It was good. Clerks 2 not so bad, not so good. This one was just downright awful. There was nothing memorable. If he's got access to King Diamond's name and likeness, he's obviously consulted with King Diamond. He could have said, look, can I use another song? Can I use Halloween or an old Merciful Fate song maybe? No, he uses the instrumental Beast theme. Them.
He used, but this has like My Chemical Romance. It's very much like, it's almost like he's aiming for a different crowd. Because you would think if you're doing a throwback, you'd want 90s grunge, because there's some deep cuts in that Clerks soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like
and
that Soul
one thing,
Asylum video is awesome that they did.
And they even reference Soul Asylum in the film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But who's the one glaring character out of Clerks that you could have done for the film that they were shooting? Where was Olaf? He wasn't there. He was one of the funniest guys in Clerks. No, Olaf.
Yeah. Like that was one of the most memorable things in that movie was Berserker,
Oh, yeah, for sure. And they didn't do the whole I eat cock.
I have the Berserker t-shirt that Jay wears in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah.
I had that t-shirt.
Where was the I eat cock speech bubble pasted on the door? That was one of the funniest things. Not on there.
Oh.
He took all the more dramatic, unfunny moments and showed that as a film they were shooting. Well, if I was watching the scenes of what they were shooting, I would have said, I'm not interested. I don't want to see Dante lying down explaining about his or Randall explaining about all the problems. You should shit or get off the pot. That doesn't interest me. All the funny stuff does.
Well, here's the thing you got to understand. Clerks 3 isn't a comedy.
That's true.
Which is the first indiscretion there, or the first, I forgot the word I'm looking for.
Well,
but
it's a movie that's him. It's Kevin wistfully looking back. It's a nostalgia piece.
That doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
What's the point?
Yeah.
Like with Clerks 2, that movie was about Gen Xers hitting middle age.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was about. Getting married, or settling down. Maybe not quite going, I'm still working a stupid job and I'm hitting 40. That's what that movie was about. This one seems to be about Gen Xers dying, but looking back wistfully as they keel over from a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
And can we also say something? Randall's way too in shape to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is Dante, really. But, he's not that overweight.
Dante looks so stressed out all the time. I buy him having a heart attack. Randall doesn't seem like he cares about anything. So
yeah. What were you saying, Hunter? You were in the middle of something.
I don't know. I was just saying that Dante looks so stressed out all the time, so I could buy him having a heart attack. But yeah, Randall was. He doesn't seem like he cares. It was kind of strange to have him kill over, but whatever. That's the movie, you know.
That is a really bad premise to have, to say, I want to shoot a film here. Why couldn't they just say, man, all the funny shit that's going on in the 30 years I've been working here, why don't we just make a movie about it and document it? Because that's what Smith did. He didn't have a fucking heart attack before he made Clerks.
Nope.
No.
He was just
No, he had one
documenting the
before
things
he
that were
made this
going on.
movie.
So
So he again,
Yeah.
Kevin has a new experience, but he doesn't have any new ideas for movies, really. Ish.
but once you throw
Yeah.
the heart attack in it, you're playing on another, playing field. There's nothing
Well, I
funny
mean,
about it.
there's a problem with comedies on a whole going on right now. Like, I don't know if any of you guys saw the new Thor movie, because the Thor movies are now comedies.
Yeah, Marvel movies in general feel like
Yeah.
comedies.
But the new Thor movie is a movie that revolves around cancer. And I don't know about you guys. I've had cancer, so it's like I don't think it's like ha ha ha, kind of funny. No one's like making cancer comedies and then working. No one's like, oh my god, I just slipped on the chemo bag and fell. Oh
Yeah.
boy,
Yeah.
there's not there's no really way to make cancer funny,
No.
and the whole thing about like that movie is it's revolving around Natalie Portman's character having cancer, and then she gets a hold of Mjolnir, which simultaneously makes her strong and sucks her life out of her at the same time. I don't know how that works. It just seemed like a convenient plot thing, to get to one place to another. But it's just like you can't really have fun if you're dealing with cancer. It's just like this whole movie's about like fucking heart attacks, and it's like where's the fun? You can't really do this. No one knows how to be funny anymore.
Well, and it's because everybody's scared of everybody's scared of offending people.
Yeah, I know.
If you put out like Clerks today, I'm sure it would piss people off.
If you put out Clerks 2 today, it will piss people off.
Yeah.
There are N bombs in that movie. N bombs in Clerks 2.
And the whole like bit with Randall trying to take it back,
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
I forgot about that
just-
scene. I'm cracking my ass up laughing, watching, and I'm going, this would never be released today.
No, you couldn't do that today. And Clerks, but I remember thinking, watching Clerks 3, I was like, I'm just kind of miserable watching this because it's just making me think about death.
Mhm.
And I remember, I think I had a similar experience when I was a kid and Jack with Robin Williams came out, the Coppola film. And I remember I was like being a kid going, oh, I'm about to go see Robin Williams in a movie. He's an overgrown kid. It's going to be funny. And then the whole movie is about how he's going to die young, and I remember going,
yeah. Bit like Sidekicks, right?
Sidekicks.
The ending of
Like-
Sidekicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just remember I was watching this and I remember distinctly I was not laughing. And I was thinking about heart attacks and death. It's a subject that isn't conducive to laughter. And here's the thing, if you can pull that off, that's really awesome. Like if you can do that, that is a tough thing to do. And if you can make something funny like that, brilliant, you're a genius. But when my mind is on heart attacks and health and
Kevin Smith's he's not able to make funny or something light out of a very heavy subject. He doesn't have the talent for it.
I could see a group like Monty Python pulling that off.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Or something like that. They're great at taking like horrifying situations and
You know who I could see pulling that off? Him. You,
Who,
Garo.
Garo?
I could see you pulling something. Yeah. I really
Who
could.
knows? Someone give me money and we'll see.
Well, he made a guy have his balls cut off funny. So.
Didn't Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, didn't they do a cancer movie 50-50?
Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Nobody was. I remember.
No.
I remember nobody was saying to watch that.
Yeah, no one. It's not even in the conversation, and it was never in the conversation. To be honest, it was actually one of his lower grossing films around that time when it came out.
What did we think of Rosario Dawson and the spirit of her in the grave?
I'm surprised that Kevin didn't make her a Force ghost. Just really surprised because he's so into Star Wars. I was expecting her to have that glow.
That is weird that he didn't do that.
Yeah,
probably couldn't get the rights, I dare say.
But yeah, it was just like, I guess, and that's the other thing. Like, you're making a comedy and you started out with the guy's girlfriend, wife, and child are dead. The one that they were so happy about in the last movie. It's kind of like Alien 3, where you're like, oh, I'm so happy I'm going to see a movie with Newt and Hicks in it, and then immediately dead at the beginning of Alien 3.
You get the rug pulled out from under you.
Yeah, and it's the same thing here. It's like this movie seemed to be just like wanting to shit on Dante as much as humanly possible. Like he doesn't even like get like two girls fighting over him like in part 1 and part 2. I mean, come on. Dante's a fucking stud, and in this movie he's just kind of a fucking loser, I don't know, and it's like
his end is just kind of pathetic in this movie.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
It's awful. It's unearned, is what it is.
And then Randall is at the end again. Spoilers, we've already done anyway. At the end, he's saying to that Elias guy, "Well, Dante's gone. You can have your spot." Now I thought, what payoff is this? This is a friend of yours of 30 years. And you're acting, you're upset at the funeral. But now you're acting as if nothing happened. And he's gone. Just another employee who's been here for 3 decades. Doesn't matter. It was just a poor... And don't get me on the very, very end where the camera pulls back. And we've got the milk scene recreated from the first one, but it's his fucking daughter with vegan milk. I thought, fuck off. Are you serious? He couldn't help himself. He just couldn't help himself.
Yeah, everything about this movie was just soul crushing, and it sucks. Can I tell you something that you guys don't know? Okay. I saw this in the theater. Okay. And it was running as because I guess Fathom Events was running all the screenings of it, and they did a shit ton of it. They kind of almost ran it like a regular movie. Do you know how much it cost to see this movie?
$16.
$19.
Fuck.
$19 fucking dollars for
That's
ticket.
about 32 Australian, but fuck that.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Don't worry. I didn't pay $19 to see it in the theater. It wasn't you couldn't use it on the subscription service for AMC's A-List, but I just bought a ticket for another movie and then just walked into the Clerks theater. So I just paid whatever my subscription price was.
Mate, that's funny.
Because there was no way I was paying $19 fucking dollars. If I paid $19 and saw that, I would have been fucking pissed.
Quick question. You can't sit and think about it. Which one would you rather watch right now tonight? Clerks 3 or the Munsters?
Munsters.
Okay.
I said it before you even said it.
Yeah.
That's how quick I was.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch the Munsters. At least there was like a lot. The last third of the Munsters is actually kind of fun.
Yeah, it was.
Here it's just like literally it's just Kevin Smith shitting on all Clerks fans is what it is.
Clerks 3 dragged you down so emotionally so far for so long that to get yourself out of that hole, if you will, for lack of a better term, to start laughing at something, it was a big climb that he was asking you to do. And by the time you even got to some sort of mild laughs, it was over. It was done.
Yeah, I mean, it is like, here's the thing. When Clerks 2 came out, I was super fucking excited for it. Super excited for it. Couldn't wait to see it.
Yeah, I wanted to see it too, yeah.
Yeah, and this one I was not excited for at all. But I was curious. Curious, but not excited at all. And it's kind of like how I felt with you remember the movie Unbreakable with Bruce Willis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, loved it. Absolutely loved that film. wanted a sequel for a while. Then like M. Night Shyamalan just kept making shitty movies. I'm like, I don't think I want an Unbreakable sequel anymore. And then he made
the window of opportunity had closed.
Yeah, and then Split came out and it was halfway decent. So you're like, okay, maybe it's might be good, but still, he's still not as good as he was back in his early days.
Mhm.
And you're kind of apprehensive about, Glass when it came out, and then Glass was fucking horrible. That's what Kevin Smith is like. You don't feel I didn't feel he had the ability to make a good Clerks movie anymore, and he proved me right.
So is this killing your enthusiasm, you two, for Mallrats 2? You know it's coming.
Yeah,
Twilight of the Mallrats.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll probably have to do an episode on it that John won't be on, but
No, Kevin Smith and Rob Zombie are two filmmakers that have people will hate watch their every new movie they make.
Who's more despised right now, Smith or Zombie?
I think Zombie actually,
You reckon?
he made the better movie, because you can understand, like, Kevin's fans are
Apologists.
super loyal. Yeah, super loyal apologists. Actually, what's even funny is, like, Kevin Smith's in Tampa tonight.
Oh, really?
He's in Tampa tonight because he's doing that road show where he's showing Clerks 3 and charging people like $50 to see it with a Q&A with him after it.
Jeez.
And it's actually tonight at the Tampa Theater. So I saw people I know and my friends.
That's his business model, man.
Yeah. And so it's kind of nice that, while he's in town, we get shit on him. But yeah, I mean, he's not like, he has such a loyal and undiscerning fan base that he can shit out something crappy like Clerks 3. And there are people, you go on the IMDb, it's like there's two types of review for it. His fans that are like, this is 10. It was so great. It was fucking awesome. It was great. And then you get the people like me who are like, used to be a fan. This is terrible. And so it's like really like two different, like, the people who will hate it or the people who like fucking love it.
The ones who really love it are the younger ones who are Elias and his sidekick in the movie. That's who his fans are right now. His fans...
I don't think Kevin has young new fans. I think his loyalists are millennials or Gen X, maybe. I don't think there's any Zoomers who are loving Kevin Smith movies. I just don't think his, I think that people who like Kevin Smith got into him at a time when geek culture was niche.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like the Woody Allen for nerds, and I think Zoomers have grown up in a world where that stuff has been mainstream for a long time. And I think that, they're probably more likely to have to like, early Judd Apatow movies. I don't know if so, fans, he's just not his movies up. I maybe slightly younger and older.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he won any with this one. He's lost some more.
No, and it's not made for new fans because it's just, hey, remember that joke? Remember that joke?
Is it him trying to win back some of the old ones he's lost?
No. Not at all.
No.
It's just him crawling up his own ass is what it is.
Yeah, it's just I think he knows that the Askewniverse stuff is what sells, and I think there's a group of people that will always watch a new Askewniverse movie, and because when he does stuff like Yoga Hosers, it's crickets. Like, no one cares.
Red State.
And, like, even, Red State, Tusk, Tusk kind of has a following, but I think just doing the Askewniverse stuff, but the Askewniverse stuff, it hasn't had any new ideas in a long time,
And I don't think it ever will. It won't have any new ideas. No. It's Kevin's lost it. It like this movie was fueled by weed, soy, and feminism. That's what fueled this movie.
Well,
Femdom.
I will say Kevin's work took a huge dive when he started smoking weed, and it took a dive. I think it crashed into the mountain when basically his daughter started running his life and making him go like, because he does these posts about how she's his teacher and how she teaches him so much. I'm sorry, dude, but that's not how this is supposed to work.
You are the parent, not the
Yes,
child.
She's the
Act
parent.
like a
And I
fucking
think
parent. Yeah.
I think when his daughter became his mom, I think that is where it was over. Like,
And that
done.
daughter at the end winking at the silent kid, the one who doesn't speak that's with Elias.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck
Well,
does
that's
that
her
at a
boyfriend.
funeral, man?
That's
I know
her
it is, yeah.
boyfriend.
But
Yeah.
who does that at a funeral? I mean, why would you leave it in the fucking movie?
That's a Kevin Smith thing, He
Yeah.
does
Yeah,
it.
but
You know.
yeah, if you want to make this film, Kevin Smith, make it and don't show it to nobody but your friends.
See, I actually think this movie is a cry for help. Because I think Dante represents like, having a wife, having a kid, and I think he doesn't like his wife. I don't think he likes his kid. So in the movie, he has them dead, and then he is as miserable, but he acts like he's not, but he's miserable, so he decides to kill himself by killing Dante in the movie.
Do you think he's miserable in real life?
Oh, I don't know how he can't not be miserable.
Boy's got a good way of hiding it.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, I mean, if you had come on, you're being cucked by your wife all the time. I mean, if you imagine being married, okay, your wife, either one of your wives says to you, okay, let's have some sex. Let me just turn on the TV and put in husky men with tight holes.
Yeah, no,
Let me
not
put that
happening.
on the TV. And then we'll do it. I mean, how would you feel?
It wouldn't be happening.
I would.
I'd be switching the TV off and saying, I'm out. I'm going to fuck off elsewhere.
No, it's just I have to remove myself from this situation.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Take yourself down to the gay area. There'll be men who can do stuff in front of you if you want to see that, but I'm not going to be.
And let's also face it, Kevin married a journalist. Okay, the worst person you can marry, a journalist.
Mm-hmm.
As left as you, because journalists, she was writing for like USA Today. Those people
the
are
worst.
the most leftist you can get. He is, and this is a guy who, is from Jersey, probably liked to say the N-word a lot, when he was growing up, he was, listening to Stern and all this other shit. He is not that's not who Kevin now is not who Kevin was. He is probably miserable. Although I did like him dissing Howard Stern in the movie, because I just felt like the Japanese dude in Godzilla. Let them fight.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Did you guys like Randall doing his George Floyd impression in the movie?
No, didn't notice it.
Yeah, because he was after his operation. The doctor says he's high on fentanyl. Remember?
Oh wow. No, I had no idea.
I missed that one.
Yeah, that was him doing his George Floyd impression.
Yeah, of course you picked it up, didn't you? Yeah.
Oh, I always pick that stuff up.
the hell you say, really?
Well, look at my name this week.
I know, I saw it before.
Is there anything else we need to cover on this one?
I don't know. Let me look at my notes. Let me see. Blah blah blah.
It was long. It ran just right, an hour and 40. That was plenty.
It could have used to lose like 15 more minutes.
True.
Yeah.
That's what I think about Clerks 2. Clerks 2 really needs a fan edit or an edit by somebody to tighten it up. There's that long midsection that just goes on and on and on. I just think.
Okay, I have one other note. is that um, that Kevin is like another Jersey guy who, once he got in shape, wasn't funny anymore. He's like Joe Piscopo.
Yeah, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, he is like Joe Piscopo.
So
But
anyway,
yeah.
my question from earlier on was, I might have asked it, what was better, Clerks 3 or Jay and Silent Bob? I think I asked that. I can't remember.
Yeah, Hunter thought this was better. I think
No.
at least I laughed a few times in Jay and Silent Bob reboot
I'll have to
where
watch. I'm not watching it again. What am I saying? I just remember thinking. I mean, they're both horrible movies. I just remember walking away from Jay and Bob going, this would not exist if Kevin wasn't trying to meme a career for his daughter.
Okay, here's another question for Hunter. Does this sit on the shelf when it comes out on home video? No.
No.
Well, you bought the Monsters in a hurry, didn't you?
Yeah, but I liked the Monsters.
But you
Well,
didn't know what it was like though, because you just bought it. So
What?
you bought it on a whim, the Monsters.
Yeah, I did.
So there you go. So you didn't know if you were going to like it or not.
I didn't. No, I knew it would be a funny bit on the show that I bought it. So, even if I hated it, it would be funny.
No, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're actually happy that we did this so early and that the Blu-ray wasn't out, so you didn't have to do that joke and be stuck with a Clerks 3 Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Monster.
Yeah,
I think he's still recovering from the Monsters one. He's still taking some shots over that. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, this is I'm not way better, but this is a better movie than the Monsters is a better movie than Clerks 3.
By
Hands
far,
down.
no contest.
Garo, which one did you watch first in theaters? Was it 3 or the Monsters?
I think I watched Clerks in the theater and then I came home and watched the Monsters.
Okay.
Yeah, and I tell you, I walked out of the theater angry. I was like, this is not what I wanted to see. This isn't. I wanted to see a comedy. I wanted to laugh.
But you were $19 richer for it though, because you didn't pay.
I know, because I didn't pay for it. No way I was paying $19 to see this fucking.
Now
no fucking way.
Then you could be angry if you had to pay that $19, then watched it and walked out and said, "Fuck." Like my son's, my 16-year-old was pestering me to go watch Halloween Ends. I said, let's look around on the old R, and see if it's available there. And sure enough, it was that night. And he watched it with one of my other sons. And I walked in to the theater room and I watched it. And I said, "What's it like?" And they both go in unison, "This sucks. It's a piece of shit."
What they didn't like Corey.
They hated it. They absolutely hated Ends.
They didn't like Corey. They didn't like Corey, like looking into Michael's eyes and.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
I plan to watch.
Wasn't that like Michael Myers like connecting with Corey though? I thought. Yeah, which is weird. Like I didn't know he had that. This is the Friday
part 5 of the series.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Has he got the fat guy with the chocolate bar at all?
Oh, I wish that would be great.
If only. Yeah.
I wish I wish Halloween Ends had leaned into the comedy, because you can tell it wants to be one so bad.
Does it? Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Oh, there's a roving gang. You know how like movies will have, like movies from the 80s, there'll be a gang of jocks that like roams around and like drinks beer and beats up people,
like the Hillbilly Gang in part 4 of Halloween, right?
Yeah, like in this one it's a gang of band kids.
Man, I don't know if I want to watch this.
It's like schlubby and weird, and they terrorize the main character, and it's just I was going, these are band kids. Like, what's going? It was. At first, I was confused, and then I went, "This is a joke. This is funny."
Okay, Garo, have you seen Halloween Ends?
Yeah, I saw it this week.
Right. What is worse? Hang on, real quick. What is worse, Halloween Ends or Halloween Resurrection?
Jesus. I actually, because there are ideas in Halloween Ends that I thought were good if it wasn't a Halloween movie.
Right.
The problem is Halloween Ends is trying desperately not to be a Halloween movie and forgets about being a Halloween movie for almost its entire running time. So I guess I have to say, as a Halloween movie, Halloween Resurrection is a more successful Halloween movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's fair. Halloween Resurrection is more successful, but there were parts of Halloween Ends that I really liked.
Okay.
If it wasn't a Halloween movie, I don't think people would have a problem with it.
Right.
The problem is,
yeah, I
it
agree.
is a Halloween movie. It's okay because you know how like people have this idea, oh, we're gonna make 3 Halloween movies. Oh, it's gonna be great. So they go and they do the first one, which is kind of easy to kind of get out. Then they're like, okay, what do we do for the second one? Oh, we're gonna go bigger. We're gonna go bigger with the second one. Okay. And then the third one, they're like, okay, what do we do now? We went bigger. We can't really go fucking bigger again. So it's like, what do we do? I mean, we can't rehash what we did with the first
This
movie.
This is the second time that this has happened where they've rushed out a Halloween film a year after the other one. The other one was 4 in 88, 5 in 89, and 5 is an absolute giant turd.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people have this sort of retroactive love going, oh man, it's a great Halloween film. You idiot, it is not. It's
I remember
freaking terrible.
I remember back when Halloween 5 was considered a bad movie, and now people talk about it like it's one of the classics. And
it's crap. I will never. It's not good. It's crap. And they've done it this time around with 2021's Kills to 22's Ends. And again, it's a piece of shit. Obviously, they cannot crank out Halloween films the following year and make good ones. They did it with Friday the 13th, as not great as those films are. They can still crank out a Friday the 13th and make it enjoyable.
They're not trying to reinvent anything. And Halloween Ends, I will say, is better than Halloween Kills, which I thought was a giant POS.
Yeah, I didn't like Halloween Kills at all.
I did not enjoy a single moment in that film.
It was everything about Halloween Kills was stupid.
Yeah, it was just a really dumb movie.
At least I give Halloween Ends credit for trying something new, not being successful, but at least it tries something new and different. But whereas Halloween Kills was just like really fucking stupid.
Halloween Ends, just unsuccessful concept, but thanks for playing.
And it's not even going to be the end. There's more coming. There's more coming. Of course. All right, but let's rate Clerks 3. Yes. All right.
Okay.
Hunter.
I'll give it a 2.
All right, that's low for you. Oh, Garo.
I give Clerks the original a 9. I give Clerks 1 to 9. Clerks 2, I give a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Clerks 3, I'm with Hunter. It's a 2.
Okay. Well, if we're going to rank all the Clerks films, I'm giving the first one a 10. I think it's just so much fun and it still holds up nearly 30 years for what it is. 2, I cannot rate. It has been the 15 years since I last saw it. I've seen it once. I couldn't stomach watching it again.
You should try watching it again.
I almost did, but I didn't finish watching this last night till just after midnight. I just ran out of time. But, and today I was watching old WWF wrestling videos and I couldn't be fucked watching Clerks 2. Clerks 3, I only give it a 3.5. Probably a bit more generous. And that's because it only managed to dig itself out of the hole a little bit of that really depressing, soul-crushing first really 45, 50 minutes. Once they start making the movie, yes, I'm laughing at old Clerks jokes and recreation of Clerks scenes. Did anybody find it odd that when Dante was watching the movie, they were 30 years younger? Because you've seen the original movie.
Well, he's trying to elicit feelings.
Yeah,
that's what he's trying to do.
It was just to get it was just trying to get feels from the audience. That's all.
Yeah,
it's not trying to be realistic.
Honest.
You know, it would have been good. Honest. You know, it would have been good. I've just thought about it now, and it's a stretch, but then so was this one. What if all that time that they were in the convenience store, Randall had set up a secret camera and was filming everything and compiled a movie?
Be better than what they put out for Clerks 3.
And then that would justify them. Okay, you got to come up with the reason why and the money for it, obviously, but you've got all the tape. But you could then justify them looking 30 years younger when you watch it. And they could have seen.
I don't care about that. It's one of those things where they're trying to.
Yeah, I understand it, but also it'll just make more sense. That's all.
Yeah.
So, how about
guys,
you know what we should do?
I gotta run.
You got to run. What
yeah,
about
I do.
in future? We recreate an old MMC episode from about 10 years ago.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right.
I got one quick thing I want to promote.
Right.
Me and Hunter actually have our own podcast we're doing.
Uh-oh.
Let me ask you something, Stu. You like music podcasts?
Yeah, sure.
Well, Hunter and I have a podcast. It's called I Used to Love Rap at 14, where we're going to review all Kevin Spacey movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is your first guest going to be Anthony Rapp?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh, well. The jury's out on that one. All right, we got to run. Thank you, Garo, for the last 5 weeks or so. I copped a ton of shit over censoring you. I won't be doing it this one. So
I don't think I said anything that bad this time.
you're okay. All right. All right. Until next time.
Adios.
See you later.
And now, it's time for Rue Britannia with your foreign correspondent, the Nez.
In a move that will surprise nobody other than those who think that Meghan Markle didn't pay for her prize from GQ magazine, the Labour Party conference was held with the usual conviviality of a gathering of fat bastards in a telephone box. Not least on the afternoon of the party leader's speech, one of his party's MPs had to be suspended for making racist remarks about the Chancellor, which is to say, a Muslim immigrant community MP racially attacking a black immigrant community MP. Diversity is our strength. Anyway, repeat offender Rue Britannia is now in suspension pending party inquiry and has subsequently had the whip removed. Not bad for a repeat offender. If anything, not so much a case of multiculturalism, but more of a case of multi-lovism. Meanwhile, controversial Labour MP Rose Duffield, who missed last year's conference for suggesting that transgenders don't actually exist, she ended up getting sent to the witch trials, vowed along this year with other female Labour MPs to formally resign the whip and resign the party once and for all if Labour goes ahead with its plan to put Eddie Izzard on an all-female shortlist for an upcoming constituency vacancy in Sheffield. This ahead of the next general election in 2 years' time. Eddie Izzard may not necessarily be a girl's best friend these days, but I do suspect that Revlon actually do think the world of him. Same time next year for Labour. Meanwhile, in Birmingham, the Tory party conference had a couple of slam dunks when it came to a faux pas, not least given how Liz Truss gave her keynote speech, whilst being fatally crippled by her climb down on the proposed 45p tax decrease. A Tory MP was harassed by a leftist protester outside a conference before smashing his phone up. A senior government minister was suspended after allegations of late-night groping in a gay nightclub in Birmingham. And there was a data breach. In the words of Gene Simmons, change your passwords. Court circular. And the High Court sent the Labour Party and every university activist in England into a state of apoplectic fury this week by effectively ruling that statue toppling was indeed illegal. Following the BLM frenzy 2 years ago, which resulted in statues being targeted and then toppled, the High Court ruled that the four Marxists who were charged and strangely acquitted of toppling the statue of Edward Colston in Bristol didn't really have the human right to effectively topple the statue in the first place, back in 2020. Though the Marxists were acquitted, the matter went to appeal and the verdict was formally upheld. Although on the other hand, it was also basically held that frankly, really it's not a human right to do so in the first place, which therefore means a defeat for the woke CRGT, which is nice. Further notes in passing, the Warrior Queen opens in the UK and bombs quickly. Bros is up next. The government tries to allay fears that there could be power shortages for Christmas given the Ukrainian war. Indeed, all I want for Christmas is a £200 power generator from Amazon. And the Princess of Wales Kate Middleton gets insulted by an IRA supporter on a walkabout in Belfast. And as usual, she wore it well and carried on. Makes a change from IRA terrorist and actor Stephen Ray shitting into an electric kettle in public. Finally, it's been announced that the Eurovision Song Contest designated for next May is to be held not in Ukraine but Liverpool instead. I look forward to watching tanks on the streets of Anfield by Easter. Pax.